What does your favorite Arcane ship say about you, according to a psychology graduate student? Part 2. All right, you feral chaos gremlins, let's just go ahead and get right into it. As I said in one of my other analysis videos, will I destroy you with this analysis? JB not. Let's find out. You are a supreme form of shipper. You are not a beginning shipper. No. You are the days of Tumblr, of MySpace, I may dare to say for those who are really old like me. You are the kind that will scroll through DeviantArt or any other form of that faction to try and find proof of your shipping, and you live for the "and they were roommates" trope. You're the kind of shipper that if you see any form of medium, book, movie, show, doesn't matter, if you see two characters that just have a little spice to them, you're shipping them. That does not mean that your standards are low. No. You will not ship unless there is evidence of shipping. Now, does that stop you from thinking about it? No. But you will have solid evidence for your shipping and you are willing to present it at a moment's notice. You have so many receipts to be like, yes, but in chapter 6, page 2, line A, they looked at each other for longer than 5 seconds. What more do you need? So when Arcane said, you know what? I'm not just gonna give you maybes. I'm not gonna give you possibilities. I'm gonna make nearly every scene that these two have together have incredible tension and just watch you go nuts. They know what they're doing. There is no way, shape, or form the creators of Arcane had no idea what they were doing when they put these two together. Every single scene that these two are interacting has some level of just deeper meaning to it. There's no just friendly conversation, even when they're laughing, even when they're making fun of each other. There's always some building suspense. There's some tension between the two of them, and you just, you eat that up like it's a fine pasta. Just. There's a very good possibility that you struggle with a chronic illness or some form of ailment, whether that is mental, whether that is physical, that keeps you from functioning with the rest of society. So for you to have somebody come into your life who loves you exactly as you are, who sees the beauty in what you see in the world, would completely destroy the ground that you stand upon, and you would do anything for that person. And on the opposite end, you may also just be the person who has had so much untapped potential, so many ideas. So to have somebody come into your life who would say, I'm listening, because that's the kind of person when everyone's talking and you keep on trying to interject and people talk over you, that's the kind of person that'll look at you and be like, hang on, they're saying something. You were saying? How much that means to you. You are a person who has followed the trail of the lie that is happiness and been found wanting. Let me break that down for you. There is a deep need in you to be happy, to want things to go well. And yet, if you were actually presented with happiness, you would find some hole in it, some way to make it not the case for you. Because why would it? Why would you deserve happiness? And is happiness even really a thing? And then you're the kind of person who sits on your bed in just an existential spiral of wondering why we're even here. Is anything you're doing mattering? The stuff you create, the fact that you'll be probably forgotten in 2 decades after you die. And while we're on the topic, has anybody thought about death recently? You have. Because you never seem to get out of this mentality, this mode, this continual fighting against every single thing around you. If I was to hand you the thing that you want most, you would not believe me. You wouldn't be able to go, yes, I deserve this, because absolutely not. There's other people that are better at things than you are. And if you find one person who's better at something, whether that's writing, painting, music, whatever it is, if somebody's better than you are at that thing, you're just not good at it. You're bad at it. You see how that doesn't make sense? You have talent, my darling. You have creativity. You have wonderful ideas, but you are the person who always stands in your way. Why is that? Why are you your greatest enemy? Why are you the person holding you back from what you want to achieve? And who, more importantly, I would say, was the person who made you believe that that was the case? because we're not born believing this. Kids are born believing that they can do anything. It's when we get outside voices that tell us that we're not good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, whatever it is, just not feeling enough. Who was it that did that for you? You have a really interesting love language because it's bullying. And not like horrible bullying, like where you're actually hurting the other person's feelings, but you have the kind of interaction with your friends, with your partner, with yourself sometimes, to be the kind of person that's like, I'm gonna make a dirty joke out of this, or I'm gonna tease you, I'm gonna poke at you, because you love getting the reaction. You love when the person that you're interested in plays back, because that just makes the game so much more fun. So your favorite scenes, it's a tie, but mostly your favorite scenes are the ones where Jayce and Viktor are like kind of teasing each other, kind of baiting each other. You love Viktor's sass, you love everything about that, and yet on the flip side, you also live for the really heartfelt scenes between the two of them because you know how much went into it to get to that moment. When Viktor says, I'm from the lower levels, and that realization on Jayce's face of, oh, I did a racism, uh-oh. You love those moments. And so when the inevitable parting of them happened, it ripped your heart in two. And then we see at the end of the world, they come back together and there's that whole scene of like the foreheads together and how much more intimate that is. And you ate it up. There was no way. Kiss maybe, but I actually personally think that that would have been cheapened if it were the case. I loved what they did with Jayce and Viktor, and I think you did too if you're a true Jayvik shipper. You love deep conversation, you hate chit chat, and if I ask you to go ahead and make a phone call to make an appointment, you're gonna break out into a cold sweat because this social anxiety just eats away at you in every single moment, which is interesting because you're a really fun, really interesting human being, and yet you have this way about you, this mentality of, I'm gonna say something wrong. I'm an imposter in my friend group and I have fooled them all into believing that I'm somehow a good person because I have adapted my personality to reflect the personalities around me. Does that sound familiar? It should. My darling, look here into the windows to my soul. Let my pretty blue eyes just pierce you as I perceive you. You matter. You are wonderful. And your conversation is amazing. People want to hear what you have to say. People want to be involved with you because your mind is something fantastic. And just because it has been altered, just because it has been hurt by either a physical, mental illness, whatever it may be, or just not feeling like you're good enough, that doesn't make it so. I am so proud of you. I'm so glad that you're here. You matter. Your thoughts matter. And you are doing a disservice to the people around you by not engaging, by not reaching out, by going into that isolated place. When you feel sad, when you feel afraid, it's okay to tell the people around you when you need help. It is okay. You will not be a burden to them. In fact, they will feel so much closer to you that you chose to tell them, that you chose to seek help, and that you value your life enough to share it with the people around you. Thank you for staying with me. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you're here, and I'll see you in the next part. Stay classy, my darlings.